I know you thought that number of points from the home games was a damning stat. The other thing over their last 5 matches, they've drawn 3 of their last 5, Forest, Spurs and tonight, and they've been ahead in each of those games.
Well, obviously he's clearly frustrated, the manager there. He's showing it with his answers. He's short and sharp. And yeah, that'll be a concern for him. The last few games and the performances, again, even the Spurs game wasn't great. So yeah, he obviously didn't even give Dalot credit for the goal. A decent first touch, decent finish. So that, again, that's the word tonight after the game, when you thought you had an opportunity to get the feel-good factor, get some momentum into the season. We see how tight the table is. A lot of teams inconsistent. United had a chance, a little bit, just to put a little marker down to say, listen, yeah, we can win these. We win these type of games we're expected to win. Obviously, all the other games happened the last couple of nights, so spotlight was on United tonight. Get that win, go up to 5th in the league. They couldn't take it.
Yeah, especially, see the narrative now. You know what I mean? Now we are talking, they are talking. Everybody will be talking tomorrow and day after tomorrow and whatever about not enough points, again, bad run, whatever. So during the game, it's also the reason why they should have been double focus. Everybody, you know what I mean? To stop, to give more. I'm saying again the same point. For me, I didn't see enough of them that they were willing to do everything, to die for 3 points tonight. With the greatest respect to West Ham, they deserve it, but they want it. But United didn't do enough after they scored the first goal.
And usually, if you think when teams come to United about if you're trying to get a good result, we look at Everton. We focus on the last couple of home games. I bet you Everton and West Ham have gone off the pitch and thought that wasn't too bad. Yeah. We at least put demands on them physically, technically. United didn't. Again, I think United give these teams a lot of hope now. And I think the biggest insult you can have, I think, as a player, particularly for United, is I still think they're quite easy to play against. Exactly. Even the last 10 or 15 minutes, where's the aggression? Where's the fouls? Even if United think, well, one's enough, slow the game down. If you think we don't have that belief to go and get the second and third goal, again, we go back. They did at Palace. Find a way to win, grind out a result. So we're sitting here tonight and if they win 1-0, it was a bad game, it was a poor game, but they won 1-0. So there's a thumbs up for that. But instead, the word everyone's going to be using the next few days, again, the manager used it, frustration.
So how much different are these kind of discussions this season to last season for you? How much different are these performances? Was last year just terrible and calamitous? But this is kind of, as we said earlier, just a bit and they're missing opportunities. Or is it similar to last season?
No, I think it is. Well, it couldn't get any worse than last year.
Yeah.
I still think United are definitely more of a goal threat. The stats will tell you that. We've not seen it tonight or their last home game, but you still think 2 at Palace, 2 at Spurs, 2 at Forest. You still think there's more goals in the team, and there is. But there's still that for the attack and threat they have. Again, we've not seen it really tonight. I still think defensively and midfield, I have huge question marks over them. I still would look at them going, I wouldn't trust or believe in this team that they can get results when they need it. Like tonight again, it was this opportunity.
Especially when they...
and you got 1-0 up, by the way.
Arsenal. They're not Arsenal, or they're not all Juventus. They're not Atletico Madrid, that are so solid that is
They've got one clean sheet this season.
No. We were talking about, you said the best thing about United nowadays, or this season, is that you see goals in them. So United, to win a game, usually needs a couple of goals, you know, to score. So you can't rely, we scored a goal, it's enough. West Ham will never score, because they are very likely to concede a goal. And that's their problem. And that's, I don't know why they stopped. The only way you can control the game, Dalot and the manager were talking, and that's true, about we didn't control the game. The only way you're going to control the game when you are 1-up is by keeping the ball, having the ball in your position, but on their part of the pitch, far away from your goal, and then you can stop them from doing something. But if you let them winning second balls, if you don't have a ball anymore, long enough, and the people are, at least they're going to have a corner.
Yeah, but you can also control the game without having possession. So if United were strong enough mentally to sit back in and go, West Ham, yeah, you need to go.
They're not a solid team.
That's what I'm saying,
they're not that.
But if they had that about them going, well, we don't need to have possession, we can control it and sit back in And you know what happens then, West Ham? If you do give it back to us, I tell you, we're going to get at you. We've got to get a pace, we've got to get a bit of power. But they ended up in no man's land. They didn't control the ball. The game became stretched. And you just, again, we're watching it. And that's why I'm looking at the players. You have a feeling going, I think something might happen here. I don't know how the players don't feel that. They must do. And that's where you show your quality. That's why you're at a club. And that's why they're on big wages, big transfer, because there's an expectation there. You have to deal with that.
Yeah, but for that you need to have that. It's like all the Italian teams. Like for that you need Barzagli, Bonucci, and Chiellini in a box, and you can make as many crosses as you want, but they're gonna head it out.
And they'll enjoy
I'm not
that
talking
stuff.
the quality of the players, but Shaw, Yoro, and Mazraoui are not that kind of the players.
But if United if United don't feel tonight they can get the second and third goal, just get everyone back then. Just defend.
But but the West Ham didn't score from counter-attack. West Ham didn't score like when they were 3 against 2 or 5 against 4. If you sit back,
but then
you're going to give them corners.
Yeah.
You're going to give them corners. And
No, but the other side of that, but if you do lose it, you go at Adams. You kind of beat them in a different way on the counter-attack.
Yes, all right. But
By having less possession, show your quality in that sense. Again, when people talk about control of the game, that means you have to dominate possession. You don't have to dominate possession. We've seen some of the best teams in the world have less possession and go, and they suck teams on. So West Ham had to chase the game. So you sit in, and then you've got really good attacking players. You go, lads, you show your quality when we get it. But they didn't end up in, again, no man's land.
But then to protect the manager, a little bit, to be fair, is like we are talking about, do they have any options up front? And if Cunha came back from the injury, right? So maybe he couldn't last for more than 70 minutes or 75 or whatever. But apart from Mason Mount...
Attacking options, it was not great.
Apart from Mason Mount, you have a feeling like
they have
they have 3 or 4 injured players.
Yeah.
But only Šeško is missing.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
And then when Mount...
What about the squad?
And then when the players come off the bench, you're hoping the players will obviously bring something to the party. I think the players that came onto United, they seem to lose the momentum with the subs.
But the other thing on Slaven's point about the sort of lack of attacking options on the bench, but only Šeško is out injured, in a few weeks' time, they'll lose Mbuemo, they'll lose Ahmad. I know Mazraoui is a defender, but really from those, from that right flank tonight, they're off to AFCON.
Yeah, but the manager's obviously aware of that. That's something they'd have to get prepared for. But when you look at the squad, considering the money that's been spent over the last few years, they do lack strength and depth, particularly from the attacking options. Again, when you're trying to see a game off tonight, and even when Mason Mount came on, I look at Mount when he comes on sometimes, and I know sometimes players seem to take longer to get up to speed than others. I felt he was like a kind of a schoolboy out there. You're looking for players to come on with a bit of presence and go, give me the ball, I'm a sub, I'll give you a brilliant last 20, 25 minutes. If anything, they brought the levels down at United. That seemed to be the case tonight.
Especially when he scored in the last game, you know what I mean? So he should be on it, he should be positive and everything. Here, you're on the stage for 20 minutes, we are 1 up, so don't have to do anything spectacular, but keep the ball there, get us some free kicks, corners, whatever, this and that. I don't know.
Ruben Amorim was frustrated and angry with his Manchester United players after failing to beat West Ham at home and blowing the chance to move into the Premier League's top 5. Diogo Dalot gave United the lead in the second half, only for Sungutu Magasa to grab a late leveler following a corner and snatch a point for the relegation fighting Hammers. United slumped to a second successive disappointing result at home following their shock 1-0 defeat against tin-man Everton in their last outing, failing to see off a West Ham side who have only won once away from home this season. Favorable results in the other midweek games gave United the opportunity to move into 5th, but they struggled to create many chances against Nuno Espirito Santo's side, with Bruno Fernandes failing to inspire the hosts, and Aiden Heaven looking shaky in his first Premier League start of the season. Amorim was in a spiky mood after the game, looking unimpressed with the questioning, but also appearing to be running out of patience with his players. Amorim told a press conference, "Frustrated, angry, that is it. After the first goal, we lost some second balls. We tried to defend all the time far from the goal. It happened, long ball. They win the second ball against 3 guys of us, so we need to be better in the second half. We are losing because of the second balls. Sometimes it is not more men in front. We are really inconsistent. But if you look at the goal, we have a long ball. We have everything under control. We need to do better. I always have the feeling that we have to score more goals, and I'm sure about that. The coach was particularly annoyed with his team for losing control of the game after Delot had broken the deadlock. We should have closed the game with the ball because the game was there to win. I think the overall performance was not perfect. We had our moments, but we lost control in the game in some minutes in the first half and in the second half, especially after the goal. The game was clearly ours to win, and we had an opportunity with Cunha to finish the game off. It is really frustrating because you look at the game, you have the game under control, and we didn't win.